Guess what? Michael Vick didn't get hurt. Who knew?
Here I am, it's the on-campus kingpin, yes I am.
Eagle Sessions, Gayle Saunders, episode 4, talking the Philadelphia Eagles and the Cleveland Browns. Nice little recap for you. Let's start off by saying Nick Foles doing a pretty good job replacing the all-world Michael Vick when healthy. But Nick Foles, he's showing you that he can get it done. I sound like a broken record between episode 1 and episode 4. It's all about Nick Foles. Nick Foles plays poised. The thing I liked about Foles the most, when he makes an error, he comes back and just acts like he forgets about it. And everybody knows, playing the NFL, you have to have a short-term memory. Again, he's shown that he can throw the deep ball. Hooked up with Demaryius Johnson a couple times. On that one interception that he did throw, he was looking for Deshaun Jackson on a deep route, threw the double coverage, and it got picked. But I mean, last night you saw him get hit a couple times. He got hit by Jaquay Parker, a former Eagle, and hit him pretty good. And he got back up and did what he had to do, like he's been there, done that, which is awesome. Let's look at some of Foles' numbers over the last 3 games. 36 of 57 for 507 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Now, those numbers, you have to be impressed, especially from a rookie. He's showing you that it doesn't matter. He's going to get it done regardless. Another thing about Foles that I like is his ability to manipulate the pocket. A guy that doesn't have a lot of speed. You can't run away from folks. But when you can step up in the pocket and throw that ball, that's what you really want to see from one of your rookie quarterbacks. A guy who's not afraid to step and look down the barrel of a gun and deliver the ball. And he's been doing that, and he knows when to run and when to step up, which is a good, positive sign. So big ups to Foles on that point. So what does that mean for Mike Kafka, though, is what I'm really saying here. Because Kafka was serviceable, but they wanted to see him progress, and he's been here for 2 years, and have the Eagles seen enough to the point where they had to draft a quarterback in the 3rd round, and then also bring in Trent Edwards, who also played fairly decent last night. You always want to trust the veteran, and you think about a guy who's had experience starting in the league. Trent Edwards has had that experience, but from what it looks like Kafka and Edwards are fighting for that 3rd spot. Could it come to the last game of the season to see how well Edwards plays before they decide to cut Kafka? I'm not sure. Another standout, Demaryius Johnson has also showed us how good he could potentially be. He looks like he's got that punt returning gig locked up. And he's also a serviceable deep threat. And he showed you by also torching another former Eagle that we all know, Sheldon Brown. He was giving Sheldon Brown fits all night. Like I said before, Demaryius Johnson is one fast mother, and he's got some moves. Another positive is the Eagles with penalties. Coming from the Patriots game, they had 16 penalties against the Patriots. All in all, they've had 29 penalties in the last 3 games. So last night they did a fairly better job. They still got to get better in that area. A little bit more discipline can never hurt the Eagles. Moving along to defense, can we talk about Trent Coles and how good Trent Coles is? When you have a defensive end, it's great to have a 3-in-1. This guy's a run blocker, a pass rusher, and just an overall badass. He had a nice little fumble recovery off of the sack from Derek Landry. Now, Derek Landry has been making his presence known for the last couple games. Maybe some folks might not know who Derek Landry is, but Derek Landry is going to make you a believer. He made that play, he blew up he had the sack fumble on Whedon. Whedon was looking pretty okay and pretty decent until that fumble, but Landry came in there and blew it up. And also, you saw him on a lot of running plays, getting downfield, running the sideline to sideline. He's a pretty athletic DT, and big props to Landry. He's had a great camp, and he's having a great preseason. Let's talk about Philip Hunt. This guy has shown you his ability to get in a quarterback's face. Time after time, game after game, he's showing you that he's relentless. He might not be a three-down defensive end, but he's a situational pass rusher. And with all the depth that the Eagles have, he's going to fit right in, coming in and rushing the passer when the Eagles need him. He's a guy that could probably start on half of the NFL teams in this league. And I'm just glad the Eagles got him, and he's definitely going to make this roster. Big ups to Hunt. Also, Darryl Tapp was in there making noise. Another guy who's great quality depth on this Eagles defensive line. So big ups to Darryl Tapp as well. Another point I want to make is the special teams. Special teams was pretty on point last night. I mean, they blocked a punt. Clayton making a move to the coaches, saying, "Hey, you need to put me on this roster if I'm going to make plays like this on special teams." Always gotta love when your defense or your special teams can make or create turnovers. And also another big shout out to Maris Johnson for he had a pretty decent game on punt returns. I'd love to see him break one, just to, hammer it home for me. But I feel comfortable about what I've seen. Now for some of the negatives. I don't know, man. I'd love to see more from Demetrius Bell. When they brought Demetrius Bell in, they brought him to become the left tackle. And right now, Dunlap has shown that he's got that spot pretty much on lock right now, which, it doesn't make me feel awesome. But Dunlap's playing a little bit better than he has been in the past. But bringing in Demetrius Bell, and you paid him to be here to start. So, I mean, I don't know if it's the mud system and his blocking schemes that has him a little perplexed, but hopefully Bell picks up, these HUD system soon, because we're gonna need something at left tackle, especially in the run game. We're gonna need somebody to help Shady get open and get deep, or get on the outside. So that's got to get fixed. Another thing, we brought in Nnamdi Asomugha to be the man. And shut down folks, and I saw a rookie named last name Gibson, who's was in the supplemental draft. I don't know. I'm not gonna say that deters from how good he is, but I'm just saying, Nnamdi's got to shut guys down a little bit better. For me, what you're getting paid, you got to shut guys down a little bit more frequently. All in all, a great 27-10 win. We saw the Eagles bring it to the Browns like we knew they could, but we did get to see what kind of depth the Eagles had. It was good to see the Eagles defense flying around, making tackles, making sacks, and getting turnovers. Last year, they were great at getting to the QB, but making turnovers, not so much. So if they could turn that into something this year, it'd be great. Let's see what the Eagles have in store for next week. It's going to be interesting to see what rookies make this 53-man roster. It's great to see some of these battles. It's great to see guys like Bryce Brown trying to make this team. I think he's going to make it. But there's so many storylines that's been pretty interesting for me. What's been interesting to you is what I like to know. Above me, you can hit the subscribe button if you like what you've been seeing on Eagles Sessions. Like I said, I'm going to be here all year long talking to you Eagles fans. It's been awesome so far. So signing out for episode 4. We'll see you episode 5. Eagle Sessions. Hopefully you're living the dream, not as in Dream Team, but living the dream.